I want to talk about a wall, not a physical wall, not something you can touch or photograph. And I am sure everybody in this room knows the wall. This is the wall you hit after spending years doing everything right. I hit that wall 15 years in my career, 25 years in corporate, international clients, large projects. On paper, my career looks like a story of a strong man who find it all. And yet, I remember one evening sitting on my desk looking at another certification course on my screen. I was thinking, Soumen, if you complete another certifications, you are going to lose your mind. This is not because learning is wrong. This is because something shifted inside me. I realized I spent years of building my resume, but never spent time building myself. And to change that, I need to do something which goes against the grain of corporate culture. Here is what corporate culture teaches us. When things are not working, upskill. When things are falling apart, improve the process. When people are not following you, attend another management training. I followed everything for years, but still things were not working. People were not listening. I was struggling, not with the work, struggling with myself inside the work. And then I did what every professional does. I went to my senior leaders. I shared my frustrations. I asked for guidance. And every piece of advice I received was technical. Better process, methodologies, systems. Good advice, sensible advice, but that advice missed one point. Because the problem was not with my methodology. The problem was me. The person I become after spending years just looking outside and completely ignoring inside. And after that, everything I did which goes against the grain. In woodworking, going against the grain is harder. It creates resistance. But one thing it reveals, which the polished surface was hiding, the true texture, depth, and the character of the wood. And that was exactly happened with me. I stopped doing what everybody told me to do and started doing what nobody in my world was talking about. I picked up a self-help book. Yes, 25 years in corporate, I'm standing here and saying a self-help book changed my life. That book taught me one simple thing, gratitude. And over the period of time, that changed my life. During my journeys for next couple of years, there are 5 principles emerges into that. And I call them grace, gratitude, rooted trust, accountability, contribution, and extreme ownership. There is a book called The Magic by Rhonda Byron. I picked up this book during one of the most critical period of my life. That book taught me one simple practice. Write down 3 things every morning you are grateful for. And that book changed my life. I learned something that again, as a professional, we are here to solve problems. We look for problems, fix it, and move on. And I was doing that for years everywhere, in my relationship, in my meetings, even the way I was looking at myself. But gratitude changed that. It taught me something. When I was frustrated with my colleagues, I started looking at their contributions. I was started appreciating their contributions. The situation I was resisted, I was seeing opportunities inside them because gratitude changes the way you see life. There was always pressure in every workplace. Appear strong, never let them see that you struggle. I wore that mask for years because that is what leadership looked like from outside. Underneath the mask, I was losing my mind. And going against the grain means take off that mask. When I made a mistake, I accepted it. When I don't know something, I admitted it. When I needed help, I asked for it. Because people are not looking for a perfect leader. They are looking for the honest ones. When I became transparent, everybody around me became open too. And then I have realized trust never built on authority. Trust built on authenticity. There is a joke in my community, and it comes with affection. The people in West Bengal, PMI West Bengal chapter, where I'm volunteering for last 3 years, they call me Akshay Kumar of PMI West Bengal. And if you know Akshay Kumar, and if that means, and someone is smiling, and so it's not about his movies. It's about his discipline. Waking up every morning, working out, showing up regularly on time, every single day. Believe me, I was not that person always. There was a time I did snooze. I skipped workout. And I promised myself I'll start it from Monday. That change didn't happen overnight. The change happened through small promises repeatedly daily. Morning walk, gym session, reading 30 minutes every day. And then I learned confidence doesn't come from one big achievement. Confidence grows every time when you keep promises to yourself. Over a period of time, I was actively involved in the communities around me, mentoring people, sharing my knowledge, and contributing whatever way I could. My volunteering journey for years taught me one thing very powerful. When you genuinely help others to grow, your anxiety begins to shrink. This is not because your problem disappears. This is because the purpose became bigger than your problem. I learned this in a very hard way. So when that actually helped me to redefine my success. My success is not the number of certifications on my wall. Success is not the title on my business card. But the success is a simple question. Did I add value to anybody's life today? If the answer is yes, that is success. Extreme ownership is the hardest part. When things go wrong in life, the easiest things to do, blame. Extreme ownership says you stop blaming others because blame will give you a temporary relief. Over the period of time, this will turn you into a passenger from the driver in your own journey. Extreme ownership says, I take the wheel, I will act, I will lead. So when I stop asking the question to myself, why is this happening to me? And started asking, how can I help? What can I do differently? And things started changing. So what changed? The world suddenly didn't become easier. The people didn't become perfect. The challenges didn't disappear. But I became different through these challenges. The man who once evaluated his worth through external validations started validating it differently. Did I add value to someone's life? Did I help others to grow? Did I show up with integrity? When those answers became yes, I feel something which I never felt for years. Peace. Not because my life became perfect, but finally I'm aligned. The way I was and the way I become today. That is exactly going against the grain gives me the true path. Your success, your breakthrough was never waiting the path you are thinking of. It is waiting on the path where nobody is walking. This is the path you should work, go against the grain, and see yourself there. Thank you.